Good morning, students. Welcome back. Welcome back to week 2 of online learning. So this week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning about factoring. In fact, it's going to be about 2 weeks worth of lessons on factoring. This week in particular, we are doing 2 lessons. We're doing 7.5 and 7.6. So I'm going to have 2 videos and 2 assignments. So make sure that you do both of those. Last week, what we learned is where's my cursor? There it is. Last week, we learned to take 2 binomials and multiply them together and get a trinomial. What we're going to do this week is the exact opposite. We are going to start with a trinomial, and we are going to factor it into 2 binomials. Factoring is something you did in elementary school. It was basically taking an answer or a product and figuring out which 2 things or more multiplied together give you that product. For example, if I were to factor 15, 15 factors into 3 times 5. So what we're going to do is the same thing here. Today, we're going to take a more complicated expression and we're going to figure out, well, what times what gives me this? Okay, it's actually not that hard. This first lesson, 7.5, is fairly easy. 7.6 is a little bit tougher, but 7.5 is easy, so you guys should be okay with this one. Before we start, let me go ahead and get rid of this and delete. All right. So let's start by factoring this. So to factor something, basically we're using the FOIL algorithm backwards. We're saying, all right, well, this is the F in FOIL, the first times the first, and we're saying, well, what times what needs to give me x squared? Well, that's easy. It's obviously x times x. Let's go ahead and skip to the L. This is the last times the last. The last times the last needs to give me this one, which is 6. Now think about it. What times what gives you 6? Well, it could be 6 times 1, 1 times 6, 3 times 2, 2 times 3. One of those. However, there is a little issue here that'll make this really easy. Can you think of 2 numbers that multiply out to 6 and at the same time add up to 5? 2 numbers that multiply to 6 and at the same time add up to 5. Not hard to find, right? 3 and 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 and 2 right there. Now, it doesn't matter if you put 3 and 2 or 2 and 3. It's the same thing because watch. Let's go ahead and do the FOIL algorithm now. So first times first, that gives me the x squared. The outsides, that's your O, that gives me 2x. The insides, that gives me 3x. And then the last times the last gives me 6. So obviously these 2 are like terms. Combined together, 2x plus 3x give you 5x. So the answer that I'm actually looking for and the answer that you're going to have to put into your assignment today is this. This is the factored form of this trinomial. Because we've taken this trinomial and broken it down into 2 things, 2 binomials, that multiplied together give us that. Let's do another example. Let's do x squared plus 10x plus 24. All right. It's going to factor into 2 binomials. They all factor into 2 binomials in this chapter, always. So you can put those parentheses there and be confident with that. All right, so these are always going to be x's because x times x gives me x squared. Now I need to find 2 numbers that multiply out to 24 and add up to 10. So think about it. 24 times 1, but they add up to 25. It could be 12 times 2, but 12 and 2 add up to 14. 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 plus 4 is 10. So therefore, I know that 6 and 4 are going to be my 2 numbers there. Now we can check it. So x times x gives you x squared. X times 4 gives you 4x. 6 times x gives me 6x. And 6 times 4 gives you 24. These guys combine together to make 10, so I know I'm right. Now, some students in the past have called this the monkey face. Here are the eyebrows of the monkey, and here is the monkey smile. So the monkey smile are the ones that need to add up together to give you this middle term. The first eyebrow gives you the x squared, and the second eyebrow gives you the 24. All right, let's take a look at a second kind. What about if there were a negative in here, such as x squared minus 8x plus 12? All right, so we start with these two x's. That's easy. Now I'm looking for two numbers that multiply out to positive 12, but add up to negative 8. So we know that 6 and 2 multiply out to positive 12, but do 6 and 2 add up to negative 8? Not quite. But think about it. What is negative 6 times negative 2? Isn't negative 6 times negative 2 positive 12? And at the same time, negative 6 plus negative 2 is negative 8. Then I know this is right. Now I'm going to check it one last time. You actually don't have to do these checks that I'm doing here. I'm just checking it so that you can see where in the world this is coming from. This time I'm putting my arrows up on top. It doesn't matter where you put your arrows. And as you can see, those two middle terms give you the negative 8. All right, now I want you to try one. So I'm going to write this down, and then I'm going to pause. Well, I'm not going to pause the video. You pause the video and try it. Pause and try. Okay, you should have done this, I hope. You should have gone ahead and put your x's there because that's always true. Now think of two numbers that multiplied together give you positive 20 and add up to negative 9. They are negative 5 and negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. And when I multiply these parts, I get the negative 9x. Notice that I'm not going to check it this time. You could, but I'm not going to. All right, what about if I made it a little bit harder? X squared minus 2x minus 35. Now I got two negatives in there. No big deal though. Think of two numbers that multiply out to negative 35 and add up to negative 2. I bet you can do it. So here's what I have. I'm thinking of what times what's 35? Well, it could be 1 times 35. It could be 5 times 7. Uh-oh, right there. Notice that I need to get negative 35. So one of these needs to be negative and the other one needs to be positive. But at the same time, they need to add up to negative 2. So I know that right there is my pair. And so I'm going to have x plus 5 and x minus 7. I'm going to check this one just for good measure. So there's your x squared. There's your negative 7x. There's your 5x. And there's your negative 35. Those guys add up to negative 2x. All right, one last one for you to try. And then you can go to your assignment. So x squared minus x minus 30. So I'm going to give you a hint. Not that you need this hint. Is there a number right here? There is, huh? That's a negative 1. So you're looking for two numbers that add up to negative 1 and multiply out to negative 30. You try it. You should have this. These are both x's. 6 times 5 is 30, but I need them to add up to negative 1. So this will be negative, this will be positive. And if you check it, you will see that we have the right answer. Okay, so these are the answers that you're going to have to enter into your assignment today. Don't forget that there are 2 assignments this week and there are 2 videos. This is the first one. Do this one first, and then you can go tackle the second one. All right, see you soon.